retirement is time. You think about that, right? I mean, throughout your career, you're going to make a lot of different decisions. And time remains that constant. It's going to, you're going to work 25, 35. I mean, people might work 35, 40 years now. You start thinking about that. All the decisions that you make have upside and reward and have consequences. So thinking about how you're making those decisions and planning for that is a key component on how you manage your career.
Yeah, the amount of time available for you to do things is finite. I read a statistic at one point that most people, unless you're an insanely dedicated reader, you will read less than 2,000 books in your life. There's 30 some odd, I think it was 35,000 books released last year. Just last year. And you will only read 2,000 of them in your lifetime. The books that you choose to read are very scarce compared to the number of things you can do. Same thing in terms of skills. You're never going to be great at everything. The things that you choose to be great at today will have a big impact on you 5 years from now. And if you're not thinking about it that way, if you're just following the cool stuff, or, hey, this seems neat.
You'll always be late.
Yeah.
You'll always be late. It'd be like
Exactly.
reading yesterday's newspaper.
Yeah. You have to actually put some thought into it. Put some thought into how does being at Blackhat today impact your skills 3 years from now? Would you have been better off spending this week not in Vegas doing a business course, doing a communications course, learning about marketing, skydiving?
By no means are we saying don't come to Blackhat
Not at all.
next year.
What we're saying is...
So if you're recording that, we didn't say that, so, okay. Yeah.
No, but I am saying think about what this gets you, because you're trading this time for something. What did you trade it for? What did you trade this week for? And think about all the other things you could have done instead of it. In business, it's called opportunity cost. You're doing one thing costs you the ability to do everything else. So you have to think about that when you're talking about investments.
Let me ask you a question. Does anybody, when we mention the term career investment, what do you guys think about? What are the things that pop into your mind? Certifications, okay. Anything else? Time and effort, okay. That's the means. Sir? Learning something new? Okay, doing it for your resume?
Differentiator.
Sir? Okay. Sacrifice. So when we talk about career investments, right? I mean, I think all these things, certificate. How many people are CISSPs?
All right, here's a question. Who's the best CISSP of the ones that raise their hand? How does that differentiate you guys?
Well, where's the college ranking? In college football, you have the top 25. You picture we like the top 65,000 CISSPs, and we just had that big ranking system. Like, if you did something good, you get to move up on the ranking, but like you have a breach, you go down 2,000 points and stuff like that.
You had a bad week.
You have some analysts. They do like information security game day, and they break down the security events of the week. But so the thing is this, right? So the point about certifications, right? Certification, there are over 100,000 certified information security professionals, and that's just like the ones that we can get data. CISSP, 65,000. So you guys should start feeling special. And SANS, there's 33,000 SANS certified people. How many of the certified ethical hackers?
There's almost 20,000 certified ethical hackers.
20,000 certified ethical hackers, so we're all good, bad people. That's good. And, who knows how many CISMs or CISs are there, or any of the other certifications. Well, I think that the one thing that you can think about your certifications is your certifications, signal theory. They don't get you anything anymore. That's it. They don't get you anything. They are the ticket to the party. everybody getting a certification, I think they're all great. It shows to me in my line of work that somebody's committed to their profession. Do I think that does that make them great? Do I say, wow, their person's a CISSP? No, because everybody's a CISSP. And if you're not, I don't care. Because my clients don't care.
A lot of people rail on certifications. You know, the jokes about MCSEs abound. But a certification, Lee mentioned signal theory. I don't know, probably most people don't know what it is. It's a branch of economics that asks the question, what signal does a particular credential hold? Let's just play a game. Imagine for a second, you're presented with two resumes. On one resume is an MBA from the University of Phoenix. On the other one is an MBA from Harvard. What preconceived notions did you have about the two people holding those credentials? What do those credentials say when you see them? And we've made a mistake for a long time that certification equals competence. It doesn't. Certification is a signal, as Lee said, for I'm willing to invest in myself and I'm willing to announce myself as part of the community. I am saying, by getting a CISSP, I'm sticking my hand up and I'm saying, I'm a security person and I'm not just a technical person. I want to be seen as a security person with some breadth. That's all it says. Doesn't say you're any good at it.
So all your certifications carry a brand.
Exactly.
And I mean, so Mike and I have come up with all our wisdom and back and forth on different talks and conferences. 3 key rules or guidelines to follow when you're thinking about making career investments, right? So the first one is this, is that if you're going to make yourself better, that's a good thing. So CISSP, SANS, training course, conference, business class, public speaking, career coaching, whatever you decide to do to make yourself better, hey, it could be golf lessons. It could be wine tasting. And that kind of sounds crazy, but if you're in an environment where, you know, the people around you or the people that might control your career play golf every Friday and they need a scratch golfer, or maybe you're a great softball player and they need a shortstop on the information security softball team. I don't know what it is, but career investments are unique. So think about it, is that any investment in your career, it's a good thing. You got to do it. Nobody's going to fault you for trying to make yourself better, all right? The second thing is this. You get exactly what you pay for. Think about that expression, you know, that scenario that Mike just put you through. And we're not knocking University of Phoenix.
Not at all.
All we're saying is this, is that if you had to interview one person for a position and you said you only can choose one to pick, would you interview the person coming from University of Phoenix, or do you interview the person who has the degree from the Ivy League school? So you think about what it would cost, the barrier of entry to get into an Ivy League school versus the barrier of entry to apply online to an online degree program. So think about that in context. And then the other thing is this, is that if you don't take the time and the money to invest in yourself, don't expect anybody else to. People tell me like, oh yeah, well, you know, I'm going to go work for them because they'll send me to Blackhat. Well, if you want to go to Blackhat because you want to go. Don't let somebody else pick how you're going to spend your time, because they're taking you places that benefit them. If you're writing the check, you can control your investment. You can do things that are better suited for your own professional development, not the corporation's development. And companies are becoming a lot less loyal. You know, the days are gone where we work for, you know, like our parents worked for the same company for 30 years.
And the company took care of them. The company helped define where they were going to go.
The company gave them leadership training. Because they give them leadership training because they already had picked out the next job for that person. Companies aren't doing that now. So whatever that amount is in your mind, you have to think of investment like, I don't know, if you're saving up for something, you should allocate a certain component of your compensation towards making yourself better. Because if you do that, you will accelerate your career, you will eventually earn more money, significantly more money, and you're going to be smarter. But don't pick investments that are garden variety, because garden variety only guarantees sustainability.
Somebody said earlier, invest for something unique on your resume. You know, to be different, to differentiate. That's a good thing. It is always a good thing to have something that makes you different.
So you have to think about, it was a key. Somebody mentioned sacrifice, which I thought was great, because, you have to start thinking, like, the two components of sacrifice are basically, if you ask me, are money and time. I would argue that time is more valuable than money. Personally, I would argue that. But you start thinking about when you're selecting your career investments, right? These are the things you should start thinking about. So what's going to be, if I get this certification, or if I do this investment, what's going to be my payback? It's going to be my return, right? And I think that I put these in order. I purposely listed these in order because I think that these are the ways you should look at things. I don't think that you should take a career investment strictly for money. I think I know a lot of folks have gone back to get MBAs, and after they get their MBA, what they find out is that the job that they come back to is the same job that they left. They don't earn any more money. They're a little bit further behind the folks that didn't leave the company to get their MBA. And they say, wait, I just spent all this money, I didn't get anything for it. Because they're doing it for the wrong reasons. So I think that, when you start thinking about these, I think that money becomes a component. I think that it's an important component. I mean, but when you start thinking about these things, all these things, career acceleration, building experience, getting more access, getting better respect. I mean, you think about it, right? You think about how companies are making decisions for their security leaders. When they look at it, they're trying to say, we have a candidate that's done the same things in their career as a security professional as we've done in ours as a CFO, chief marketing officer, chief operations officer, versus the person who's made investments that don't align with anybody else in the boardroom. You don't want to be unique that much. You want to be able to assimilate to a certain extent to the people who you'll be ultimately trying to impress. But you have to have that has to be self-driven. You have to want to do something. Don't make investments because somebody else wants you to make them. Do them for yourself.
So that assimilation is exactly what Lee was talking about earlier. In terms of if you want to be in a leadership role in security these days, you need to look more like a CFO than you look like, the people who are speaking here. It's really what it comes down to. Next question. Somebody over here had their hand up earlier.
Before anybody, does anybody have any? We're so on the topic of investment. Anybody have any good questions about anybody planning to make a career investment? Anybody made one recently?
Yeah, we're here.
Well, is that really a career investment, right? Well, okay. So explain to me what the ROI is on this career investment. Yeah. Cool. So you're recouping it knowledge-wise. Do you expect any of the other things to come to fruition? Cool. I think those are good. I think those are very well aligned expectations.